The Carolina Hurricanes at the New York Rangers. Puck drops 7 o'clock Eastern time, 4 o'clock Pacific. And the Hurricanes, as you know, have a 2-1 lead in the series, but still have yet to prove that they can win on the road. They dropped 3 games in Boston. They lost their first game in New York. So can they win on the road? That's the question. Matter of fact, it's a question in both in the series for Carolina. The series against Boston was the team that won at home won the series. Let's see if this one also comes out the same way. The number on this game, the Rangers minus $1.15. They opened up at minus $1.20. 5.5 under, minus $1.35 after opening at 5 over $1.35. So obviously the public likes Carolina and the over in this matchup. Goaltenders tonight, Ante Ranta, Shesterkin. We know the drill. That doesn't change very much in the postseason barring injury. And there seems to be a little bit of a change in this series with scoring. It looks like it should be on the rise. And I know last game it hit the under, but I think the trend and the way that they're playing and the pace of play that they're playing shows me that this might be an over, which is why I think the public said 5 is too much. We're going to go over that 5.5. And you also have to factor in a little bit of bad blood after game 3. We saw the Rangers head coach Gerard Gallant get into it with Tony DeAngelo. And of course, that fuse was lit because Max Domi cross-checked Ryan Lindgren after the game, which promoted a wrestling match on the ice to end the game. And which I think probably means that we're going to see Ryan Reeves on the ice a little bit more tonight than his 6 to 8 minutes, depending on how the game goes. And of course, Gerard Gallant came out on his press conference and proudly announced that, hey, we got the guy that can take care of all your guys, so stop your garbage. That basically is what he said, and I inserted some words. I do agree with the public on this one, even though Game 3 went under the total. We started to see some life out of the New York Rangers offensively, specifically from their power play, and also we got a scoring opportunity to score from their 5-on-5. You can tell that this series, to me, is starting to open up a little bit. And if Shesterkin is forced to make 43 saves again, and I know, I believe me, I realize the Rangers, this is their game. It is rely on Shesterkin, get some greasy goals, and get out of the game with a W. I realize that. I just don't think on a nightly basis that they can force Shesterkin to make 40 to 45 saves to get a win. It's different during the regular season when you're asking him to get 30 to 35. 40 to 45 with a total at 5.5, I think is a little bit too much to ask. And I think that's why I'm going to lean towards that over tonight. There were 77 total shots in Game 3. And I think if the Rangers are to rely on their big guns as they did against the Penguins, their first 2 games, we saw Zibanejad, we saw Adam Fox, we saw Chris Kreider, Artemi Panarin. Those guys absolutely lit it up against the Penguins. But in Game 1 and 2, they were non-existent. In fact, failed to hit the scoreboard. In Game 3, we saw that trend differ. Even though it went under, there was 5 total points by their big guns. And for me, if their big guns are coming to play, which you take a look at any of these series, if you're going to win a Stanley Cup, it's because your top 3, maybe your top 6 are absolutely dominating the scoring because they're just simply getting more time on the ice. We're seeing that in the Edmonton series. Same thing for the Rangers. We see a trend now where their top guys, 5 points the other night. Let's see if they can continue that. And again, from a goaltending standpoint, I just don't like having to have my goaltender face 40-plus shots a night. I think there's going to be plenty of chances with the Rangers' Big Four continuing that trend tonight. And I think they're going to pound the score sheet once again. And I think also Carolina's going to find success because they'll be able to get to Shesterkin as they did in Game 3. So let's go with the official selection in this game. We're going to go over the total. The over is still 19-7-2 in the Hurricanes' last 28 road games, 11-5-1 when playing on 1 day's rest, while the over is also 6-2 for the Rangers when they play on 1 day's rest, 7-3 in their last 10 overall. So we're taking the over 5.5 plus $1.15, and we appreciate the line move on that so we can get the plus money.